We're speaking with attorney Monica Centeno. You know, there are some people here in Vegas, a lot of them, who are just really good people, bought their houses the right way, and things have happened that they didn't expect, and now they're in a situation where they want to keep their home, they want to do the right thing. Is it possible to get their loans modified? Is there really hope?
Absolutely. There's a lot of hope for people. I think that it's important for people to understand that their lenders and their banks really do want to work with them, provided that they qualify or have had a hardship. You know, you've lost your job, you got sick, you had to take care of an elderly parent. Something's going on that's been beyond your control that's made your house unaffordable. They're definitely willing to work with you and help you to keep your house.
Now, do people need to be late on their payments? Because sometimes you hear stories where they're told you got to be 3 months late before you can try to get any kind of help. That doesn't sound very wise to me. Is that correct?
Well, it doesn't. But yeah, sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not. And I think what's difficult for people and what to understand and what has not really been explained is that loans have owners and they have servicers, kind of like a property owner and a property manager. And between those two parties, there's a contract that says these are the terms under which loans can be modified. And in some of those contracts, if I'm Fannie Mae and Bank of America is servicing my loans, I say, okay, Bank of America, you can't modify any mortgages until they're 2 months late, because I don't want Bank of America just running off and doing all kinds of stuff with my mortgages that I own. I have to set limits. So then you call the servicer and they say, we can't do anything because you're not late. It's not that they don't want to help you, but they're contractually obligated to abide by that contract, and they could get sued if they breach it. People just are not taking the time to explain that to the homeowner. So you don't encourage somebody to go late, but unfortunately, sometimes if they really want to get help, they got to play the game.
So if people are thinking about trying to get a loan modification, would you advise them to skip a couple of payments and then call you, or should they call you first?
Absolutely not. I would never advise somebody, and even when I have the banks come and tell me, you know, they're not late, this is our agreement, I never tell someone, go late. Because it's a dangerous game that you play. There is no guarantee. You know, a lot of people say, I want my legal right to loan modification. You don't have one. It's a negotiation. And if you make that decision, you really have to be sure that this is something that you need to do in order to get where you need to go. We modify mortgages. I do every day for people who aren't late. Sometimes we can get around those. So I would definitely say don't be late. The other just practical consideration is so many people are in foreclosure, have a sale date looming, 3 months behind, 2 months behind. Really, it's a little bit tougher and a little bit longer of a process for someone who's not late because their house isn't on fire yet.
So what is a short sale? You hear a lot of talk about that. How do you define it?
A short sale really is a distressed property. So the homeowner is in distress because they've had some hardship. You know, as we discussed earlier, they're lost hours at work, unemployment, they were ill, something like that. And they need to sell the house. They can't afford to keep it. They need to sell the house, and the value has dropped, so they need to sell it for the current market value, and they need the bank to agree to take what they can get for it and actually transfer the deed and go forward with the sale. So they're selling short of what is actually owed on the loan, which is why it's a short sale.
If I'm thinking about trying to do a short sale on my house, should I call you before I do anything, even deal with the bank?
Well, I give a free consultation, so I would say yes. Because you're going to at least want to know where the areas of liability are and what questions you should be asking. We refer to real estate agents. I don't get a kickback or anything like that. Find a real estate agent that you know has experience with short sale, or we'd be happy to refer you. But just someone who can really take care of you, look for that buyer, knows how to deal with the bank, and really get your property sold. Because the foreclosure process, if it started, does not stop or get put on hold just because you want to put your house on short sale.
Call the law offices of Monica Centeno today at 966-5660.